Hey.
It's just like any other In the Zone podcast where we show up late.
No, we got Kris the Critic. We got the In the Zone representative. We got all kinds of stuff going on. It's another Kris-less Kris the Critic. Kris is on a hiatus. Shontelle and I are taking over tonight.
And Brian is still hungover from his party, so unfortunately he couldn't make it today. But he will be here next week.
Yes.
We will do the In the Zone podcast. Brian will be in the building, being Mr. Chicago himself, just 50 years older.
50 years older. So now he's 100.
Hey!
He's a whole century.
Hey!
He's a whole century.
He's old now.
He's old.
Let's go.
He old. There we go. So,
yes.
We might as well get to this since we're late.
Yes.
Here's the question. And I have an initial answer to this question, but it's on the screen. So, this is the wrong kingdom. That is the wrong banner. It should say.
We're definitely not talking about social climate.
We are
That's
not
gonna
together
happen
today. We are just not together.
It's been a day. It's been trying to get on here. It's been a little
I
difficult.
need 4 cocktails.
So this is the topic at hand, which I think anybody watching this definitely can feel this. Should you revisit an ex? Should you give him a second chance?
Should you? What do you think, Shontelle?
I think you should give him a second chance. So I guess, okay, so there's a couple of parameters that I think we need to consider.
Right there if you want. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
First thing, how long has it been? Are we talking 6 months? Are we talking 60 years? I think time is super duper important, right? I think people grow and change over time. I think if it's been 10, 15, 20 years, they're more than likely whatever you didn't like about them before is either gone or it's much, much less than you remember. Or maybe you've grown where that's not such a big deal anymore. Then yeah, I think that can make it work. Or if they've had like a huge life change since the last time you dated them, like they got married and divorced, maybe they had a child, some major milestone happened in their life that makes them evolve as a person. I think if one of those two happen, then it's a maybe.
Okay, it's a maybe.
At that point.
Here's how I look at this. I revisited exes before. They've been colossal mistakes. Okay. It's to me like if you go to a restaurant and you get food poisoning.
Oh.
And they don't clean up and you go back and you're surprised when you get food poisoning again. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
So the way I feel about it is that now, okay, I'm going to leave room. The way I feel about it is something material has to have changed that address the issues that you had the first time if you are going to revisit the ex. Okay? So if it was a long-distance relationship and you can somehow make it local, then yes, that's something material that will change. If the long-distance portion was the problem, right? If he was abusive before and says, baby, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, that's a no.
That's always a no.
Because unless there's no unless. That's a hell no. I mean, because that's throwing good time after bad as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. But it's
just not a good idea. I mean,
maybe after a few years of therapy, maybe.
I am not of the opinion. Here's another unpopular opinion that I have. I have a lot of unpopular opinions.
Oh, you on the right podcast then? Yes.
Bam. No. I feel that people don't change, really.
Oh.
I think people's circumstances change.
Okay.
But they don't change. I'm the same person I was when I was 5 years old. I have just learned to control my tendencies. But I'm the same person. I still get mad about the same level of thing. I still have a bad temper, but I've controlled it because I'm an adult. You know what I mean?
I think maybe because you're a Virgo. Maybe that's a Virgo thing, right?
It could be a Virgo.
Because I definitely...
Specifically a Virgo woman thing.
I definitely can see a couple of areas where I have evolved and I've grown and actually have morphed. Believe it or not, I used to be quite reserved and quite conservative. But life, I've learned some things. I've grown, and I've obviously become more vocal. I'm on the damn podcast and won't shut the fuck up now. And, a lot of my politics have changed. So I think there are areas where people are not the same. But I think your core values, whether you're a good person, whether you're a bad person, whether you're a liar.
Right.
Like those things, I think stay the same, but I do
Right.
think there are other pieces that, like, you can learn how to clean up as you get older.
Yeah, because those are habitual.
Yeah.
Like, being a messy person is because you have bad habits. That's not the core of who you are.
Okay.
Like, I've seen people that were pretty messy earlier on in their lives, and they've become, like, neat freaks because they've made that decision. They've added some processes. You know what I mean? They've educated themselves. They've learned. But, you know, if you're a shit person...
You can't be a not shit person. If you ain't shit, you can't become shit at that
Right.
point.
You ain't shit. You ain't never gonna be shit.
Damn.
Is that harsh?
That's a little harsh.
You think so?
A little bit.
You think a not shit person can turn into a person that is
I think
upstanding?
I think about men though, right? I think they're perfect examples, right? You meet a man, you know this two kingdom. He ain't shit. You meet him, he's 22, he ain't shit.
Right.
25, he ain't shit. You see him again at like 45?
His circumstances have changed.
Shit.
His
You're
circumstances.
Like,
Oh, because he's not as hot in the streets anymore. He's 45 years old.
and at this point, he's probably too tired to be fucking all
He's
these
too
hoes.
tired.
So
No,
he's just
45.
like,
Try 55. They don't expire for a while. At this point.
Kingdom, I was trying to cut y'all some bail.
Don't
I was
do it.
trying.
They gotta have 1 foot. Look, they've got to be ready to live with someone who can recognize
They
the
gotta be
signs
on
of
the
a
walker?
stroke before they slow down. In some cases, I just want someone who's gonna feed me and take me to the hospital if I have a heart attack. Yeah, that's gonna be.
I'm not even gonna lie. That's still pretty ain't shit if that's how you operate.
But you know, it's
But they
true.
can still grow.
They can still grow.
They can
though.
still grow.
They can still.
They can morph.
grow.
They can change.
They could.
Unless they go impotent.
And then they're of no use to you.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about.
But why do
What
y'all
do
do
you
that?
mean? So wait, so you're gonna come back. He said unless they become impotent. If he doesn't have a mic, so I wanted y'all to be clear on the comment. So they're of no use to us at that point if they're impotent. You know,
See,
are they? Otherwise, they're friends. See,
if you love a person,
that's a friend.
no,
A friend's someone you love, but you don't sleep with.
no. But if you sleep with somebody for years and you in love,
That's different. They can't come back to you when they're impotent.
we're talking about exes still. Okay.
Yes.
Have you seen the topic of this show?
You went to boys. You went to men.
Yeah, but
and
we're all,
in
it's
general.
all under the umbrella
Well, I
of
mean,
the ex.
Generally,
Right,
But we're
but
both
it's-
women, so we can't talk about dating
I
other
don't
women
date
because we
women,
haven't dated
so-
women.
What's your exes then? Let's keep it on your exes.
Okay, my exes, would they date me again? A few have tried.
Yeah, they all come back.
a few have tried.
They all come back, whether or not they
I've dated a
should.
few exes. I've
I would
redated
never
a
do
few
it
exes.
again.
It obviously it didn't work out,
I ain't
but
redate,
No.
but I revisited some exes.
So you were hit it, is what you're saying.
that's not.
I have.
Yeah, I mean, so okay.
If I'm not in a
Okay,
relationship
let's
at the time and
this
somebody
is a
flies
perfect
in town and say,
perfect
I miss
segue.
you.
This is a perfect segue.
Lord.
So now let's draw the distinction, shall we, between getting back into a relationship with an ex
That's a good one.
and it's the sex you know versus the sex you don't.
Mm.
Because sometimes the sex you know, even you're not serious about the sex, is better than just some rando dick in the street. Like, at least you know the pitfalls with that one. So does that make it better? As long as you control your emotions and don't mistake, don't mistake a revisit hit for
If you're gonna do that,
this gonna be my man?
I would say if you're gonna do that, you can't do that in your 20s. You don't have the life experience to be able to disconnect your feelings in
There are
order
ways
to do
to
that.
do it, though.
No, there are absolute ways to do it. I just don't think in your 20s.
We need to do
you
a
can.
show on how to do a situation show.
Oh, that can be next week.
Because I can tell you all about how to do that. I was a situation queen for a while.
I'm still am. I will.
Entanglement queen.
I'm a
Yeah, they weren't
perfect
complicated,
situationship
though.
person.
They weren't complicated.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyway.
I'm
back
very
to the sex
focused in
thing.
those relationships.
So, but tell me what you think. So, tell me, do you think that that is more, or is that better or worse?
Okay. So here's I got a lot of questions, right? Were you in a relationship with this ex?
Yes,
before?
it's called an ex.
Then I
so
think
they're
no.
relationships.
I think
okay.
it's no, because whatever was, especially if it was like recent.
Well,
all those feelings are still there.
Okay, the feelings are still there. So what you have to do is wait till the feelings go away, right?
You have to wait like years for that. To
You think
happen.
years?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the minimum amount of time?
I think you have to do at least 4 times as long as the relationship.
Okay, so if
So
you
if you-
dated 3 years,
Then
so 12 years later, are you even interested in that anymore?
I don't know. These are your rules. I should
Things
answer
have
the
like-
question.
Still get calls.
I don't know.
Okay, Kingdom, that's right.
I think it's. I think a lot of people backslide within the 6 months to a year range,
And that's why they be stalking each other.
and then they get pregnant. But anyway, it's a whole
And
different-
that's
and
another
the way it
thing. I
happens.
don't know what's happening in this mic, but we've been having fucked up shit happen the entire pot since we
This
tried to start this
is
thing. So we keep.
ridiculous.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's just not sitting up.
It's
It's
just not
fine.
right.
You can still hear me.
speaking to the mic. So,
That's what she said.
no, but I mean,
Hey!
real talk.
But what do you think? Do you think you can go back to an ex, and just have a situationship? Just fuck on them.
I think it depends. I think it depends on how you ended it.
Okay.
If it was a situation where it was painful to end, we just can't be together because of these circumstances and we would want to, and this is just, a mess, right? Then I would not recommend it because
Okay.
you're still very emotional about the person.
Sure.
And it's just going to set you up for problems. It's like, quitting smoking, right? You'd rather just go ahead and do that one cold turkey and just don't look back. Because
you probably can't double and dabble.
you can't. And then that's the one where if something material changes, that changes the circumstances and the reasons why those people can't stay together, then maybe they can get back. But if it was a situation where you guys weren't really, you were dating, but you weren't in love.
Oh, yeah. You can definitely go
But there were some qualities of the relationship, let's just say.
She's so
Yeah.
much nicer than me. That nigga could fuck. I got it. That nigga could lay some pipe.
Get it in.
Yes, go.
Right. So if it's that, then just go ahead and get the fringe benefits of the relationship.
I still
and
think
keep
you
it
need to
moving.
take a small pause, just a small break.
As
You
long
can't
as
go
you
right
don't-
into it.
As long as you don't get what I call dickmatized, right? If you get dickmatized, then you can't.
Can
do
we
it.
describe
Dickmatized? It's
Dick
really
dicknutized?
It's like hypnotized. You get dickmatized. Right?
Dicknutized.
Right. If
You know,
get
black folks will
dickmatized-
fuck that shit up. I've heard dickmatized.
Yeah, I said no. I said the wrong. I misspoke. But yeah, dickmatized. So, if you are just dazzled by the dick, and you can't it's your kryptonite, and you know that, don't go anywhere near that shit. That will not end well for you.
I don't disagree.
Because there are people that will get
Hell
because
no.
it's your kryptonite. It's people. It's just I can't. It's a weakness. I can't.
Because that's how you end up getting stalkers.
and that's how you end up getting the wrong person pregnant.
That's how you end up with your car scratched, or some windows busted, or your Jordans cut up. That's what happens.
That's very specific. Jordans.
I've
cut up.
I've heard.
Have you cut up anybody's Jordans?
I've definitely stalked somebody though.
Have you?
I had definitely have done that. I
And
talked
was it
about that
because-
in the
was it because
zone.
you were dignitized?
It was a little more complicated than that, but it was a decade-long relationship. I was very in love. He was on some fuck shit, and I just didn't know how to manage my feelings, so I just would drive past his house
Just
periodically.
to see who was. I mean, what was the
Just
goal?
to see if he was home.
And what were you gonna do if you found him there?
I have no idea.
That's the thing that always trips me out. People do these drive-bys. It's like, okay, you caught him. What?
I don't
Are you gonna
know.
knock on the door and
So-
say, "I know you in there"?
I tell
Like,
the
what?
story about what made me stop.
Okay.
So he lived in a condo in South Shore, and they had like a little pad in the back where they would park. So I would drive through the alley and see if his car was there. No intentions on doing anything other than to see if he was home.
Okay.
One day I'm driving through the alley. I see his car. I also then see him and his then girlfriend walk out.
Yeah, he had a whole
He
woman.
saw it was me. I drive normally. Now you think most people would speed up. I had to press somebody to keep driving normally, not to
Don't call
the
attention
scene.
to it.
I drove away. That was literally the last time I ever did that. I was horrified.
Now,
he did call me 2 days later.
I was gonna ask. Okay,
Absolutely.
so what you doing driving by my house?
Absolutely.
Is that what he said?
Absolutely. I said I don't know.
His next statement, you miss daddy.
Nope. The next day was let's go to dinner.
Really?
That's
So
what
you miss daddy.
Okay, well fine. Yes, then.
'Cause y'all
So he said, no,
always
did you go to
on the
dinner?
date.
Yes, we did.
And then what
And
happened?
things started right back up.
Right.
And what happened? And what happened to this woman that he had?
I don't know.
You are
still
you
there.
I don't care.
And she don't care.
She don't care. What
No,
happened to
I'm
the
sure
woman?
she cared, but he
Don't
did not.
talk you.
Oh no, I didn't.
You didn't care.
I didn't. I was number one anyway. I didn't care. I don't care what girlfriend he had, who was introducing his mama to. He was calling me.
First.
He was mine first, but he was also, that thing men like to do, right? And then we're going to actually get back to the topic. Where
this is kind of the topic
they have
now.
The front-facing girl, right?
Right.
That's the one who meets the family. They have the one who meets the friends. They take to the galas. That's the frontward-facing. And then they have the back-of-the-house girl who they actually talk about their life career to, their feelings.
Is that what they call a bottom bitch?
Well, no, that's different.
What's a bottom bitch?
The number one.
Should we do a whole show on the bottom bitch?
So I was like an emotional.
The number one hoe for a pimp.
It is.
Oh. Okay, we're not talking about that.
I never understood that.
Okay, if you can't hear him, he said a bottom bitch is a number one hoe for a pimp. We're not about that here. Okay,
so I was the emotional girlfriend, while the actual girlfriend was like the frontward-facing girlfriend, if that makes sense.
So now, okay, so that was an ex. So at first, were you the frontward-facing girlfriend
Absolutely,
before?
we were together like 6 years.
Okay, so 6 years. Okay, so 6 years, you were the gala girl.
Mm-hmm.
You were the mama girl.
Yep.
You were and then you became the back-of-the-house girl?
It's this very long story, but I cheated on him. He got upset, rightfully so. But we didn't want to he didn't want to break it off, and I didn't want to break it off either. So we just started.
So you thought you'd just break each other off?
Pretty much.
Okay.
But it was still like emotions. We were not 20s. It was like the most goofy shit.
But so how did you...
I love that this story is
so interesting. How did you react to getting relegated to the back of the house girl?
Oh, okay. So we're gonna have like a real transparent moment, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is about exes.
I think initially I thought if I just was patient enough that I would go back to being the main girl. Just give him some time to heal. I was 24. Give me a break. I thought if I just gave him time that we could figure it out. We'd get back together, get married, and move forward. I didn't have enough life experience to understand that I had hurt him so deeply that was never going to happen. And he also said as much, right? Not that that it was never going to happen, but that he just needed time. He just needed to figure it out. We'd ultimately get back together, which never quite happened. No. I mean, even now, if I see him, it's always like this tinge of awkwardness. No. Because we've known each other a long time, so it's always like, how's the family, how's the this, how's the that, but it's always like this weird kind of weirdness. Because I think we still have feelings, but we both are like adults enough to be like, nah.
Yeah, that's not
nah, I'm
what
good.
We doing.
I'm good. You're good. We're just gonna say these highs and keep it pumping.
Now, okay, so what happens if you're dating a guy? The problem is financial. And
like when we say financial, what he lives in a
money.
trap house?
Like he ain't got no money.
Well, see, not having no money is kind of a sliding scale, right? Are we talking about he like work at McDonald's, ain't got no money, or
maybe.
He goes to Vegas often and gambles away his money, have no money? Because these are like very different lifestyles.
I'm going to talk about people who have a gambling problem, because that's a problem. And that's something material that probably won't change, because he's got an addiction problem, and that's only going to move from thing to thing. Like when someone has an addiction problem, it's just going to be an addiction, right? So that's a no. But if it's just a person who just didn't he made a low amount of money. I don't want to say anything to not offend anybody, but I don't want to be like,
fuck that. If he makes $50,000 a year?
If he made $50,000 a year, and he had...
He's poor.
And he had,
He's poor.
He's poor. Okay.
He's
so,
poor.
say he's poor.
Yeah, he lives in Chicago, making $50,000 a year. You would.
And he got like a baby mama.
You definitely poor.
You ain't got.
Oh, you take care of your kid too?
Money.
Wait, does he take care of his kid? Because that's gonna make a difference.
Well, yeah, because that takes some of his money away.
Then he's definitely poor.
Because come on, he's got 20% taken out of $50,000. That leaves him with 40 before taxes. You eating a lot of Subway.
Oh no.
Real talk.
Well, okay.
A lot of Subway.
I try to cut them in a little bail. Like.
Or you cook.
Okay, so he makes $50,000 a year.
Big time for that.
What's the question?
And
he's an ex. Do we revisit?
Now, let's just say all of a sudden he gets his shit together.
Okay.
And he's now making $200,000 a year.
Was he a good person? Because this asshole's making $3 an hour, and there's assholes making $300,000 an hour.
Let's just say he's not an asshole. Let's just say that because you liked him,
okay,
that he's not an asshole. let's just say he's not a dirtbag. Okay.
Okay.
And
I didn't play him
now,
because he was poor, right?
Yeah, you kind of were just like, this lifestyle isn't really like, okay, so here's why you broke up with him. Because his lifestyle couldn't keep up with yours.
Okay.
And because you wanted to do things that were outside of the realm of his possibility.
Okay.
Like travel and stuff. And then, you know, maybe he was like, why don't you pay for me to do this? I know, right? It percolates, doesn't it?
So, I would be concerned that the male ego would show itself, right?
Well, see, right.
That would be what I would be concerned about.
Okay, so say, you know, that's all good and everything. All right. But now, he's making a, you know.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh, you mean.
Because what's going to be in his mind, or what I assert to be in his mind, is she left me when I ain't have shit. Now I got shit. Now she want to be here. Because that's a ego thing you don't want to have to deal with. Because then they're going to try to teach you like the not bottom bitch. They're going to try to treat you like
right,
one of them hoes.
Okay, so you don't.
And that would be what I would. It depends, right? It depends on how he sees how you left him. Right. If he understands that he just wasn't at a place to be able to be in a relationship with you, then cool, he will get it. But if he sees it as a slight to his manhood
and his ego,
so no, it's a hard no, because he'll never take you seriously.
He's damaged goods.
I wouldn't even say he's damaged goods. What I will say is that. So wait, what's the question? So you would date your join the conversation. Yes, you're right. So I just think if you hit his ego, if you upset his ego at all with that breakup, then no, because you're going to be fighting his ego.
That's fair. That's fair. I would agree with that. You are fighting that ego.
You're fighting the ego.
But even if he comes back to you, well, yeah, because it's going to be spite.
Now, if he comes back to you, now that's going to be interesting.
If he comes
it's
back to you.
It's different if you see him out.
See, here's but he might be coming back to you just to kind of stick your nose in it.
Yeah.
And say, oh, you want me now.
See, I'm the kind of motherfucker that will go out with you. and
like,
still treat you like that broke motherfucker.
Right.
I promise you I would. I would feel bad, though. No, I wouldn't. It really all depends, right?
I like how she's like contradicting herself in the same sentence. I would feel bad though. No, I wouldn't.
Not really. I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, would no.
Because I know you all can't see my shirt, but it says God ain't petty, but I am. And that would probably
you are peppermint petty.
I'll probably be a little petty.
You are
in that
petty
moment.
Pendergrass.
Because if you're gonna try to treat me like a hoe, then we're gonna go.
We gonna
let's everybody get treated like a hoe right now.
Say ho ho ho.
What about I assume you a once and done type person. It really don't matter what.
I'm so quick. I will cut. That's that was my biggest flaw in dating, that I would cut bait very quickly.
Now what if same instance, right?
I told you I did backslide. I did it before. And let me tell you, the worst thing that you can do is boredom dating. Okay, so it was a situation where before I dated this guy, I was just like, I don't know. There were a lot of men that I was meeting, and there was one year where I'd met so many men I hadn't met, it was crazy how many men I was meeting, right? And then that slowed down for some reason, I don't know why. And then I met him, and it took me like 8 months to go out with him. Like, I didn't really want to, right? And I went out with him, and he was like, seemed very interested in getting to know me and all the right stuff, as opposed to just like, hey, let me see if I can hook up with this chick, right?
Hey, Kris. Y'all think men are doubling back for something serious?
Is that you or Kris?
That's Kris.
Oh, hey, Kris.
A doubling back for something serious? I don't know what they're doubling back for, maybe.
I would think in general, and I'm generalizing, so I'm just telling you now, this is a complete and total generalization. I think most of the time they come in to fuck, but I think men out the gate when they dating a woman want to fuck.
They do.
That's how my mind goes.
That's really what they want.
You
what
hear the fuck, and once they get to know you a little bit, they're like, oh.
They're like, should I like her?
Yes, and then, I think initially, Kris, they double back. Well, they probably already fucked you, right? So they doubling back for the ass. Yes, and to probably whatever ego you hurt whatever feelings you hurt to show to get back
To
at
show
you.
that you can get back.
Because men are petty. Men love to talk about how they not petty. Y'all petty.
Men are petty.
Y'all are petty, peppermint petty.
And
petty.
they're teddy petter. They're petty.
Too many options out
Petty,
here for
petty.
these streets. Shontelle A. Watson is on to something. Just saying.
Yeah, there are a lot of options in these
Revenge
streets.
fuck.
Revenge fuck.
Well, that too.
We got, look, the very two people that we're trying to escape are like back and forth with us on the show. Like now it's this. No, but they raise good points. There is a lot of revenge fucking going on.
I think, and I would
But don't
say,
sleep on women. We can revenge fuck too.
I think men do it more than women, though.
They do.
I think so. I think you all definitely
Our producer says, okay,
You don't
show
think
of
so?
hands. Who does more revenge fucking?
I think men definitely do more revenge.
I think they do too. Because, as a matter of fact, I know men. I have a lot of male friends. Like, I have more male friends than I have female friends. I was
too.
I was that person.
Oh,
You know,
as well.
Aw. I was a boy's girl. But I was raised well by my male friends. Most of my male friends were the biggest dogs, and they would like not let me fall into that, right? They'd be like, "No, don't do that," because here's the psychology behind it, right? And so, wait, what do we have here? Listen,
Chris, Lord, these old archaic ass viewpoints.
I hate to give. What does it say? I can't. My content was cloudy.
Listen, I hate to give this game away for free. No, you don't. That's
No,
the
you
whole
love
point
to
of
give
Kris
the
the
game away
Critic.
for free.
The way to get and keep a man is to not sleep with him for a long time. Yes, there are exceptions. What's a long time? Are we talking about a year?
okay,
Like 5 years? What are we talking about?
This is the point I was getting to. So I will almost yes, but that. Okay, so yes, but the only thing is that
there
there's
you
a
go,
lot
be
of
false.
dude.
Men do more revenge fucking. Big fact.
They do 100%. I don't think we were in disagreement. I think women can do it, but I think men do way more.
No,
But-
Kingdom believes the latter. That
okay.
women do it more than men.
You know. I think though that there are guys who women make wait for a really, really, really long time, and because the woman has made them wait for a really long time, they're like, I'm just gonna hit it and be out because that bitch made me wait for so long.
Yeah.
And
But what's a long time?
it depends
It's
on
so
the guy.
subjective.
It is. It depends on the guy.
Because some
like
men
some
think
guys
if you
don't feel
go
they
on 3
should wait.
dates and you don't fuck them, then fuck you. And some men, if you go 90 days, it's totally fine.
Counsel on how many times you got to do the grind test before you fuck.
The grind test. You gotta do the grind. See?
Before you get a
Nice
ass.
callback. Yes, I
I
agree.
like to hunt and kill. There are too many dead meat just laying in the streets. But Chris, what is the time frame? You have to give people some kind of
So
idea.
Chris and Brian, since y'all love to be here, which you should be here actually. I like the fact that we're having this virtual conversation. But all right, here's the deal. Tell us, like, when you start dating someone. Well, you're both married, but when you were, and it's Chris's anniversine, by the way, so happy anniversary.
Hey, happy anniversary.
Yay. So, but when you were dating, and you started dating a woman, within what time frame did you expect to get some ass?
I know Brian's going to say first date.
And, and what's too short and what's too long? Go.
I can feel Chris typing right now.
Chris is like, yeah. It's
Brian gonna say, Brian,
What
I'm
did
proud
Brian
of you. 5 days.
Five
Oh.
dates, and none of those are telephone dates, right? There are
What are
dudes,
telephone dates?
guys will think they talk to you on the phone for 30 minutes and then come over and get some ass.
What
But
if
that
you
was a
talk
date.
5 hours, like if you wait.
That doesn't
close.
guarantee
That
you
is
no
no.
ass.
But that's a long ass date.
That's
It's
not a date.
Lord have mercy.
He's like, that's a long
Why we
date.
fucked
That's
up?
not a date.
Because that's not a date.
5 dates. Be false.
Just like that's like saying if we text
Brian,
us 2 hours.
over what period of time?
They were giving it away 2 to 3 dates on average. I made none of them my girlfriend. So
Okay.
we talking about 6 to 9 dates then?
Well, yeah, what is, but okay, over what period of time? So were you knocking out those 3 dates in a week? Like, baby, I like you so much, I gotta see you tomorrow. Oh, I gotta see you the next day. Thursday, we getting some ass. Like, it's like the Craig David song.
I-
Took it for a date on Monday.
Here's
Took it for a date on Tuesday.
Here's my general kind of rule of thumb on sleeping with people. Yes, Free Spirit Shontelle does have it. I try to wait at least 30 days. I try.
Yeah.
I try.
Could be a week.
Some people
see?
have made it sooner. Some people lasted longer. But I tried to do about
My
30
fiance
days.
was almost friend zoned.
Could be 3 months.
It could be 3 months. No, it was 2 months. My fiance was almost friend zoned.
Oh.
Like, real talk. Like, we, like, were hanging out, like, casually, but he was determined that for some reason he felt like all these guys were hitting on me for some reason, and that he didn't want to be that guy. And so he wanted to be the person who, like, kind of just, like, got to know me or something. I don't know. It was very interesting. But yeah, no, he didn't lay a hand on me for, like, 2 months.
Wow, that's...
Yeah.
And y'all
now,
like going out and hanging out and stuff?
We would, but see, the thing is, you're like me. So I'm the queen of the platonic male friend. So therefore, we could go out and see a movie, like we could go to dinner, and I'm good. Like, we don't need to, like, there's no, like, I don't have a romantic overtone. This is why I have so many male friends.
Yeah.
Because I don't, that wasn't a thing for me. That was just like, oh, I'm just meeting a friend of mine for dinner. I'm just meeting a friend of mine.
I don't know. My life, if you platonic, you start off that way. Or if you're romantic, you start off that way. Now, so there have been some people who have been romantic who then transition to friendship. I do have some friends like that, but I don't have any friends that turned into a romantic relationship. That's never happened.
I'm happy that it's that way.
Yeah, that's never happened to me.
I'm happy that it's that way because you ever meet somebody and if you had not waited, you maybe would have hooked up with them, and then once you get to know them better, you're real happy that didn't happen.
Oh.
Like, I'm so happy. Like, what would my reputation have been? Like, not even reputationally, but like, he's an idiot.
It would have
like,
been a waste of a notch.
Or the other thing too is that you want to check out his whole circle of friends before you decide which one you want to date.
Wow. I never thought about that, but that's a valid
because you don't want to be the pass around girl.
Oh, I'm never that. Once I sleep with somebody in a
friend group,
it's burnt up.
But you like that
it's over.
friend. Like, that's like, I've seen, this has happened to my friends several times. They like meet a guy, he's fine, I want to hook up with him, but they meet his friend, they're like, I like him better. But now you've already hooked up with the first dude.
But
now what? But anyway, okay, so what is Kris's
someone who wants
comment?
to marry you will wait until months. Someone who really doesn't want you long term will break early. No, that's true. I think that's a very valid perspective.
That's true, because you're not worth it to them.
Right.
To stick around.
3 months is still a long time, but
contradictory dick?
Of the revenge dick that y'all were talking
about.
Oh,
revenge dick is different.
That's completely different.
Totally 100% different. Revenge dick is when you were together, you break up for some other reason, and they get together, they get back with you, they hook up with you just to see if they can. And that's revenge dick.
And not fuck.
Yes, you're fucking. What do you mean?
Okay.
Like, that's why they get back together with you. They get back together with you to throw you some more kryptonite, and then they leave you again. That's revenge
that's
sex.
What men do.
Yeah.
To give you some more kryptonite.
Yeah.
Or they just want to show you how amazing they are. I think.
But see, there's a lot of women out there that will do things.
What do you mean?
Like, there's a lot of women. I mean, men have a lot of options.
She's so cute.
Men have a lot of options. It's my point. Like, you can get some chicks that can take a bathroom view. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there there's a lot of women out there that will cater to men. They will hook up with you in a bathroom. They will do whatever, right?
You make over $80K, it's
can
a
sad
state of affairs. Don't get a degree.
What's the last comment that we have here?
She said, Shontelle X. What? I
exercise some self-control.
Look, I still have exes trying to get to me. Ones I slept with on the first date and ones that took 90 days, and they all, when they see me, still want to hang out with me. So.
Okay, but here's the question. Would you have wanted to marry any of them?
Just... Yes.
She's trying to find
out the number.
Well, I was like, yes. How many of them would I have wanted to actually marry?
Yeah, I know. But yes. Yes.
One?
Just one.
Just one. Okay. And was that a first date or a 90-day?
That one was a 90-day.
Okay, see? You're proving Kris's point.
Yeah, but
we're not talking about what he wanted to do, though. What did he want to do?
Oh, he would have married me.
Okay, so there we go. So, Kris says what?
Want to marry, choose, close the cookie jar. Okay, well.
Close them legs is what Kris says.
The one she stalked. This is true. It is the one I stalked.
It is the one you stalked?
Yeah, we
would. The one that you were the secondary chick for?
Yep, I would have. If I hadn't cheated, we probably would have gotten married. Now, would we even stay married?
Why did you cheat, though?
Because I was 20. I was 20-something years old. Like, I'm not saying this. Well, no, there was a lot of, like, internal, like, me not feeling good about myself and a lot of all that stuff, right, that I realize now. But the bottom line of it all was I was really young and hadn't really figured myself out or figured out why I felt the way that I felt. So I went and cheated and realized that was a really bad idea. I've never done it again.
Yeah.
And I hurt him. I think that part really, really stuck with me, how much I hurt him doing that.
Yeah, I mean, once you do that.
I mean, some motherfuckers don't care. Some people don't give up.
But those are the people that want to marry you.
Sure. Well,
People
no, I've
wanna
had a couple
marry
people
you.
want to marry me. It wasn't just one.
I'm not saying that there was only one person that want to marry you, but I'm just saying that the people who want to marry you aren't going to recover too soon
Yes.
from that kind of infraction.
I would agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, they're set up for other things.
For sure.
Yeah. Do we have other comments from Krista?
Brian trying to put me out there. 100 Gina B. All right, so apparently I'm a slore. And if I want to get married, I need to stop being a slore. Thank you, Chris. I will take that under advisement.
You were a slower?
Apparently so.
What's a slower?
Like a slut and a
A
whore.
slut and a whore? Isn't that the same thing?
No.
Yes.
It's not the
What's
same
the difference
thing?
between a slut and a whore? We are so off topic, but that's okay. What's a slut and a whore? But
Do you
different than a
consider
slut
your
and a
exes
whore.
to be sluts or whores? That's a question.
Do I what?
No, I'm talking about
Oh,
producers.
I can answer that. They're all of the above.
They're all of the above. Okay. So, I mean,
Every
one
woman
man's...
I've ever been with was of top quality. I would never say anything about
The
it.
top
that's right.
quality.
That's
Even
right,
the ones
Kingdom.
you broke up with egregiously, right?
Have you broken up with somebody?
You act so surprised. Have you broken up with someone?
No. Some people haven't. That's not an unfair question. Some people are like, I've always been broken up with. I've never broken up with somebody.
Well, some people do what the equivalent of quiet quitting like now.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking
Man,
about?
Oh, we need to
Man,
do a
we
whole
need to do a
show.
whole-
about
I
how
wrote a
y'all-
whole column.
About quiet pudding?
Quitting.
Quiet quitting. You've heard the term quiet quitting, right?
Quiet quitting is when you do such a bad job at work that, you just do the bare minimum.
You just
and you
do-
don't care.
yeah.
You just check out. And a lot of people do that in relationships.
Can we, the next show we're
Yeah.
on together,
Yeah, let's do
talk
it.
about men quietly quitting relationships?
Quietly quitting. Because I always called it the reverse psychology breakup. Where
I feel like quiet quitting.
I did a whole column on it once.
That's-
It's about 10 years ago.
Let's, please. That's,
Yeah. About 10 years ago, I did a
Genius.
whole column on the reverse psychology breakup where you're such an asshole.
That's what I took away from all the comments, Chris, that I'm a slore and if I want to get married, I need to do better.
Yeah.
I think my boyfriend's in the comments, so perhaps we'll talk about that later, babe.
Oh, your boyfriend's in the comments?
I'm sure he is.
Oh, I did
There's
not
a
know
woman
that.
now.
That would be a great show. I agree, Susan.
Hey, Susan. Hey, Susan.
How men quietly quit relationships.
Susan's one of our regulars. Yeah, because it's true. I'm telling you, I wrote a whole column on it because it was the thing. Like where, they're just trying to... I know I have male friends who told me that they've done this. So, yeah, we can talk about it.
I love it.
That's our next show.
Yay. Thank you guys for putting that out there, for giving us them ideas.
Yeah, we need the ideas. So, that part is true. Yes, it is true. But as far as the ex thing is concerned,
Yes.
I wonder how many people have gotten married by revisiting an ex. I was just talking to a friend the other day.
You want to talk about this next week, B?
Next
Oh,
week,
you
I'm
saying
in.
you're just
Okay.
in. Yes, we said you were going to be here next week. Are you saying that that's what you want to talk about next week? I thought you want to talk about something else. But that's fine. We can talk about that too. Has any exes I'm sure some exes got
I know a
together and got
few.
married.
I know a few.
I can't think
I
of
don't
any.
understand how it happens.
Because again, if you think about what happened, right? They broke up. Some time passed. Like I've heard. Who was that recently?
funeral.
They got
Look
they
at
got
J-Lo
divorced.
and Ben Affleck.
That's a perfect one.
She almost ruined his career several years ago, and now they're back.
Elizabeth Taylor and what's his bucket? They
And,
got full on
Richard
divorced,
Burton,
and they
right?
got remarried. That didn't work out either, but still.
Yeah. Because every relationship has, these, So in every relationship, I feel like there are points of contention that are throughout the whole relationship. You have themes, right? So you always have the same differences. Like, I feel like if my fiance and I are going to argue, it'll be about the same 4 things, right?
Okay.
And they'll just rear their ugly head. And so sometimes that'll break you up. But you have to understand that, if you get back together, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
Right. So you have to kind of resign yourself to putting that to the side if you're going to have a harmonious relationship.
Absolutely.
I had a friend who he and his ex broke up. He dated somebody else, and next week is dating people with kids.
Wait, huh?
Whatever.
Were you aware of this?
I did not know this. No cursing allowed. I'm coming in to spread much needed testosterone. Oh, what?
Oh my
When is
God.
much more testosterone ever needed? We have so much. Anyway.
Y'all got all this testosterone in the comments. You
Oh
and
my
Brian
God.
are taking care of
I know,
that.
right? Like,
Lord.
Whatever.
Y'all are too much. Anywho.
So, sometimes I guess if you put aside those differences, then, and you understand what those are, or if things have materially changed, then the relationship can be successful.
Or if you learn how to communicate, right? I think a lot of times people break up because they are ineffective communicators. And I am of the belief you can communicate through anything as long as everybody's willing to have the conversation. I'm a firm believer in that. Yeah,
but a lot of people are not excited about the truth. Let's just say.
No, that's true.
A lot of people are not. They can't handle the truth.
What is wrong with your co-host?
Long skirts and arms covered next week. Long skirt. What is this? The Handmaid's Tale? Like, what are we doing right now?
What is wrong?
My arms have never been covered.
Are we just to wear burqas next week? Is that what's
happening?
happening?
I can talk through like a little like space.
That might turn some men on if we just all this is this.
There's someone is a fetishist for everything. Just go on some of the nasty porn sites and you'll see weird shit like that. Burqa sex. I'm sure that exists.
Somebody's
I'm
gonna
sure,
go on
I'm sure
Pornhub
that
right
Brian
now
and
look
Kris
for
can
it.
tell us whether that's a thing. Y'all let us know. Long skirts and arms covered. No,
Yes,
that will never happen.
Kingdom
knows.
Kingdom? That's your thing?
No, it's not my thing, but it is.
But how do you know that?
Xvideo.com.
How do you?
On xvideo.com.
This is perplexing.
There
Okay.
is the woman in the burqa.
The woman
sex.
in the burqa sex.
Yes.
But our producer
I feel like I
has
want to
informed
see
us
that.
this exists. So
I'm looking at that.
I feel like after the show we're gonna have a little bit of a viewing
We're
session.
gonna have
That's
to.
what's gonna
That's
happen.
brilliant.
But it's Chantel's daughter, so
She's
She's like, I don't care. It's her
She
kid. If
knows
she gets
what's
damaged,
up.
who cares?
She's heard it all probably. No.
Me being her mother, almost
She
everything.
might know. So anyway, in summary, because we've got 5 minutes left. So if like ex love of your life, if the guy that you would have married, if things were to right themselves, would that be an option for you?
If I wasn't in a relationship.
If you weren't in a relationship, okay.
I don't know. It's a lot of water under that bridge. I think.
Is it water over the bridge? In fact,
I think. Okay, specifically for him, I think we'd have to have several conversations to make sure we were clear on what happened, why it happened, what are our feelings around what happened. I think if we were able to have that series of communication, then yeah, we would be able to do it.
I don't know if you agreed.
But
And
we're
if
talking
we-
about the same ex.
Yes,
that
the
you
stalker
hurt,
one. Yes.
That you hurt.
Yes.
That she
He did stuff to me too. Let's not act like I just
But that's
sat
what you said. I'm sorry.
Well,
said
she
I
doesn't tell the
started
whole
all.
story.
Christ, you
I
just
would
said
spend the
you
next
fucked around.
hour talking about what happened. It would be a whole show.
All right.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
No one.
What is Kris saying?
No, it's what
Hey, Tim
Tim's
Cook.
saying.
Hi, Tim Cook.
Like,
But
what's
yeah,
up?
so
Hi,
in
how you
summary,
doing?
How you doing?
would you date? Would I revisit an ex? That one we'd have to do a lot
I
of
would not,
groundwork.
100%. So that's my short
Okay,
answer to that.
you're at a wedding, you're getting drunk,
Drunk at a wedding is the worst place to be.
and your ex is friends with somebody on the other.
And your ex is friends with
and he
somebody,
happens to be at
and
the
you guys
wedding.
happen to be at the wedding together. I'm just saying this into the mic in case people
Right.
can't hear you. You just catch the bouquet and keep it moving.
I just flirt.
She
Keep
flirts.
it going.
I just keep it moving. You know
There's
what?
just a ton of water
There is
under that
no
bridge. We
putting
can't-
that foot back in the door. As
We
far as
can't
I'm concerned.
just men might come back to a cheating woman, but a cheating girlfriend.
Forget about it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Well, because it's more expensive to get rid of a wife, right?
I mean, it's been like 20 years. I don't know.
Good point, Gina B.
I think men hold on to grudges entirely way too long.
You don't think women do?
They hold on longer than us, for
Shit.
sure.
I don't know if there's a person that holds a grudge longer than me.
Well, you're a Virgo. Y'all
Yeah,
are
I
the
was gonna say.
queens and kings of some.
Yeah.
Look,
I hold so many
that person will
grudges
be
that I
in
don't
the
even know
grave,
about.
and I'll be like,
I'm an Aries. It's hard as fuck for me to hold a grudge.
yeah, that's
Completely
you know what.
hard.
My fiance's an Aries, and he is always like, well, hold
I
on,
get
like,
over it after a
whatever. You know what? Once I have been wronged, forget about it, as Kris puts it.
I love after sex. What's
That's what I call it. I love after sex.
That's what you call revisiting an ex? That's a very interesting string of words.
So in our last 2 minutes, let's dissect this. So Tim Cook is saying that are you saying that after you have sex, you fall in love?
See,
I think that's his term for going back to an ex.
Can
you confirm that, Tim?
Can you chime back
that's
in?
Straight. Okay.
So he's saying right? Yes. No. Who's right? Me or Shontelle? Is it that you fall in love after sex, or what was your point?
That's what he calls going back to an ex.
That's what you call revisiting an ex. So okay, tell us. We'll wait. No, but anyway, in the meantime,
a curious string of words.
We're just curious. Yeah, it's semantics. We have to know. But yeah, I don't personally. I never recommend it.
Once you break up.
Once you break up. Okay, so
after sex.
Yeah.
Love after sex is that's a really cute term, Chris. Tim. That person.
You can't laugh at your own joke, Tim.
People always laugh at their own jokes. It's like the person who posts something on Facebook and then likes it. I hate those people. The fact that you like it.
And just FYI,
isn't that a foregone conclusion?
FYI, Brian is one of those people where he'll post something and be the first like. Don't do that.
Well, if I don't like it, who's gonna like it? Somebody else. Anyway, so
you gotta start the algorithms up.
Oh, is that what it is?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Oh.
Look, I have enough likes on my posts. I don't need to. Because I'm always posting unpopular opinions.
You Facebook. Are. I've seen a couple of days. I do hilarious.
All the time. I don't care. But one of my unpopular opinions for this purposes of this show is that don't go back with an ex. Just don't do that.
I don't know.
I don't agree with it. I just think that you should move forward.
Can I like a Facebook memory? Sure.
No, he's saying that can he like a Facebook memory when it pops up on his feed?
Oh. Of like an ex?
I mean, what you're going to do, okay, so if he wants to like a Facebook memory, then what that's going to do is bring it back into circulation on Facebook. If you would like to do that, then feel free, sir. He's talking about how we're saying that people shouldn't like their own stuff.
Oh.
I will share.
Let more people see it.
Right, that's why. Yeah.
Okay, well.
She just thought you were being egomaniacal. It's okay.
Oh, he's that too. let's not get it confused.
Another Virgo.
Absolutely.
Virgo man, though. Virgo
and
men
are petty
different.
Too. Brian don't show it very often, but he's petty and he will hold a grudge.
And he's
forever.
A September Virgo.
Yeah, I'm an August female Virgo, so we're a different animal.
There's something about
September Virgos that are different. They hit a little different.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
We are at 7. We're at time.
We started late.
And I've got to go to a con. Well, we can. You know what? We want to do 10 more minutes.
I got no place to go. My kids in the next room.
10 more minutes?
Eating and reading the book.
Do you have another salient point for this? Now, do you want to rebut my point?
I don't think either position is bad. I think everything depends, and I'd hate to be that person where, well, it depends. I think it depends. I don't think there's a perfect answer. I think everything depends on timing. Timing is so. It's probably the number one thing, right? If your timing with that ex isn't right, then it don't matter what stars have aligned. The timing has to be perfect. Whether it's been 10 minutes or 10 years, gave the dopest. We can talk about that in the last 10 minutes. You can ask me all the questions you want. And Brian, you should pop in here too about your party.
Were there any exes at Brian's party? Brian, did you invite
Brian has to answer that. I don't know.
Brian, tell us, did you invite any exes to your party? Do you invite exes to your birthday party?
I do.
Do you?
Because some of them I'm friends with now.
My exes are dead to me.
Some exes I'm friends with now, so they would be at a party.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm totally platonic with them. I'm not inviting somebody that, like, I'm still, like, gaga about. But Brian's party, I'll talk about that for a few minutes. And I let Chris kind of...
He said he did invite exes to the party. Okay.
I don't know who they were. But Brian's party, just to give some highlights, I worked...
We still banging.
I was married for 25 years and divorced for 5. We still banging.
Wait, your ex-wife?
Why are you not on this show?
You were still banging your ex-wife? We'll wait. Anyway.
But I was hosting the party. So I couldn't quite get as drunk as everybody else. I got drunk at the end. I made up for it right at the end. But highlights of the evening, I will say the award ceremony. I thought there was some lovely speeches given. More specifically, shout out to Devin Foster, who read. His mom won an award. Brian's ex-wife and the mother of his first 2 children. He's known since he was 14, so he wanted to honor her.
Okay, so that was the ex.
And their son came up, their oldest son, and he read y'all still at it, never stopped. Oh, okay. Good for y'all. He gave... No, well, I don't know, Tim. Are y'all married to anybody else?
Married to other people, and this is an interesting way to out yourself if y'all.
He gave a really nice speech from his mom, just acknowledging Brian for the children and the time that they grew up and how she's seen him grow. Is really, really nice. Another highlight of the evening was the Alphas, the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, 11119. All y'all out there. They were nominated in one of Brian's categories for dealing with his shit the longest, I think. And it turned into a fucking stroll fest. Like, the young alpha, all the old alphas, by the way, stood their asses to the side with their broken knees, while the 25-year-old alphas hopped their asses around for 5 minutes. It was amazing. I really wish I had the video so I could share it with y'all. Kingdom, do you know? You know how to pull that video up off of Brian's page? Okay, never mind. It was great. And actually, people are still talking about it. It's still coming up in my timeline with more and more comments and more likes. Go to B False's page. He has a video of not only him, of his son, who's now currently an alpha in that stroll, but also a lovely video of him and his wife dancing, which for me was the third best thing that happened.
I think I saw that. That was so
They were
cute.
just the most adorable thing.
Brian and Allison are a cute couple.
And the fourth best thing, Brian's blue suit. Now I had to tell Brian, that suit, whoever made it was everything. Every man should own a blue brocade patterned suit. It fit him like a glove. It was everything.
Lovely. I'm sorry
but
I missed it.
It was a good time. Everybody got drunk. Won a lot of food because a man organized it. But it was a good time. Luckily, I missed that. Me and B False's dad had our shimmy ready.
You were
that's right.
Kappa shit?
That's another thing. So Brian's dad is a Kappa. He was surrounded by alphas. And I made the joke that even with all the alphas, the Kappa won.
You were so funny. Kappa wins.
The Kappa wins. And the sea full of alphas, the Kappa wins.
I love it.
But yeah, it was, you know, I know Brian did a lot of planning. I was part of that planning. Shout out to the party planner and Brian. It was very well done. It was a lot of fun. Everybody, 90% of people came in extremely polished in their tuxes, in their long dresses, in their short dresses. There were a couple of outliers, but we won't talk about them. But everybody looked fabulous.
But people show up in the pajamas.
No, some people came in jeans.
Well,
a couple of polo. Well, one polo I saw. I said, why?
Because they just weren't. I'll tell you what. It was the reason why we weren't able to make it is because Lee had worked like 12 hours that day, and he came home, and if he had to like lift an arm to put it into a suit jacket, he would have killed him. He did like a whole sound setup, 3 events. He was just like, I just can't do it. So
I mean, there was somebody in a polo, so you definitely could have.
No, but he would have wanted to wear his like cute little John Varvatos like tux jacket and like all that stuff.
Oh, he's fancy.
Oh, he tries to be fancy. Yeah.
But as Kris has said, excellent
be
time.
Crazy looking.
I hope he does it again in 10 years. Maybe Kris 50?
Yeah, Kris turned 50, didn't he?
Oh, okay. Well, Kris ain't doing that. I don't know. Maybe somebody else will have something equally as fabulous. I'm not gonna be 50 for a minute, so it won't be me. But
then I'll never be 50.
I heard that. But it was a fab. Where were you, Kingdom?
I had to work.
Kingdom had to work. I mean, look.
Brian was there, wasn't
he? He was. He was only there for like 10 minutes, though.
But he left me to work.
Oh, he ain't shit.
Like, he ain't. Like, Brian's out. B. Gorman's out kicking it now. We don't know where he is.
Oh.
So.
But it was a beautiful, well done.
All right. Well, good.
I have a dope holiday party.
Yes, he does. The Levy party is always off the chain. And I had to miss this last one because I had COVID. So I missed the last Levy holiday party, and I was very upset because I heard it was totally off the chain. So if you were fortunate enough to be on that guest list, which I'm sure you will be.
Can I wear the flower dress at your party, Kris?
Oh yeah, it's a classy affair.
I get to wear it again.
You can. We can revisit that flower. If it's gonna be cold though, because it's Christmas.
I'll put a fur. It'll be fine.
Oh, that's right. Throw on your badass fur and walk in there, like, you know. But yeah, that's a dope party. So yeah, Kris will have his moment in the sun.
Oh, and he'll be running, so then it'll probably be a
a
political.
It'll be a politico extravaganza.
Oh, I picked the right year to get friendly with Kris. All right, Kris.
Oh,
You wasn't invited. You gotta take that up with B Falls. Please hit him up in his inbox.
I wasn't.
Tim
invited.
Cook, please hit Brian's inbox, and you can have that
banging
conversation
your
with
ex-wife.
him.
About that.
Tim
What?
Cook was too busy hooking up with his ex.
You
coulda came, Kendall.
I mean, I'm Kingdom. I would have, but I didn't get the invitation.
There were some people that weren't invited. It wasn't
I'm
that
sure
many.
there
It was like
some
2.
party crashers.
Yeah, there was 2.
There's always a party crasher.
Always.
Always.
But I know you need to go see the Doobie Brothers.
I am. I'm going to the 50th anniversary Doobie Brothers. I'm into my old school concerts because they're
I
just
don't
such
even know a Doobie
excellent-
Brothers song.
Yeah, you know Michael McDonald.
Oh, I do know Michael McDonald.
That's why I'm going.
On my own. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm going.
Is he still? I hate
it's-
to be
it's
that
so
person
funny.
like he's still alive.
Yeah, no. Michael, I happened to see him at Ravinia.
Is that where they are today?
No, hell no. I'm never going to Ravinia again. It's a whole different story. But Ravinia is always a much better idea in theory than in practice, by the way. But no, the Chicago Theater.
Oh,
and it's
that's
their
much better.
50th anniversary. So I like to go because my dad is an old school musician. I like to make sure that I see old school musicians whenever they're around and they're performing because you never know when you're never going to see them again.
That's about
like we lost Ramsey Lewis this week. Very sad. He was a national treasure. I wish I'd have seen him in the last 10 years. So I have vowed that I will not let that happen. So anytime I see an amazing old school musician who is still performing, I will have my ass in a chair.
I respect that because I feel bad I didn't get to see Prince perform again.
We saw Prince just a couple years before he died.
Did you see him one of his surprise performances? Because he did a whole bunch of those.
I have seen a lot. Now, I had seen Prince in concert about 10 times, maybe more. But Lee had never seen Prince in concert, so I took him and surprised him with Prince tickets. And it was just a few years before he died. So I was very happy to have done that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that was,
but
sweet. But anyway.
But all right, we are at time now.
We are. And I'm going to dash off.
All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out and joining us. You got to do another Doobie Brothers fan.
Yeah. See, Michael McDonald is the truth. He is the blue-eyed soul king. Like, he's got that voice.
And you, Kris, you better be taking
Kris,
your wife someplace nice for your anniversary.
Kris trying to get something tonight. This is anniversary.
That's right.
Hopefully you farmed out the kids.
All right, so we're going to get out of here so Gina can make her concert on time.
Woo-hoo.
We will be back next week. Thank you guys for joining us, and toodaloo. Bye.
Reminder that you might be on the new station.
Deuces.
No, we'll talk about that next week.
Later.